Look who walked in the studio. That's right. Coach Deb, the hottest, guest we've ever had. Let's just face that. Of course, she's Coach Deb. CoachDeb.tv is her website. She's a social media expert. The author of the first book on Twitter in the country, which is called Twitter Revolution.
How's Twitter going?
Deb, how are you?
Pretty good. Hottest on content, right?
You okay? You seem pensive today. You all right? You
I don't know. I think it's the weather. I'm not used to cloudy days in California.
It'll clear right up.
Yeah, it'll clear right up. Sometime around
Give it
August.
an hour.
Yeah.
In August. Wasn't Twitter 7 years old last week?
Yes. It was Twitter's birthday.
Can you believe that? There's a couple things I want to talk to you. This has nothing to do with Twitter, but you realize that the word iPhone was not in our lexicon 6 years ago? 6 years ago today.
iPhone.
iPhone. Smartphone was not in our lexicon 6 years ago today. 6 years ago today. I think it was April 13th.
I thought I had one back then.
No, April 13th is when it came out. I think it's 2007.
Yeah.
So it'll be 6 years this year. And then also, iPad was not in our lexicon 3 years ago today.
I have some Twitter questions about who tweeted to who first.
Yeah, who's the first tweet?
Because you have to have the other.
LOL? Was it XOX? LOL?
You just don't put it out there to space.
TTYL?
Someone's got to receive it.
That's
Did
true.
everyone go on at once, or do you know?
Do you even know who invented it? Wasn't this a government thing at first? Or
Twitter?
Or was
It was a spy
It was a spy
technique.
technology.
Yeah.
You're fine.
That's like Facebook. People say that it's really not Mark Zuckerberg. It's really the FBI tracking us.
I
all
believe
of the
that.
locations that we post, everything
Yeah.
that we do.
Every day I get, can I put you on my birthday calendar? Hell no.
Yeah, what the
Remember
hell?
my
That's
birthday.
Facebook, though. That's not Twitter.
Or any of that. No, you don't get any information.
Hey, Deb, talk to us about blogging. You know, blogging apparently is the secret to getting people to follow you, right?
Yes,
I mean,
correct.
so if there's one silver lining on people that don't understand about internet marketing, about doing stuff on the internet, about making money online, I'm going to say it's got to be that if you build it, they don't necessarily come.
Correct.
But if you start blogging, potentially they will.
Yes, especially
to us
if you
about
have a social media strategy. And I think a lot of people get distracted with Twitter and Facebook and all these social media sites, but you don't own it, right?
yeah.
And the day, I think you were telling me something about you had an account and all of a sudden the social media site just shut down. And then you lose all of your friends, all of your posts, all of your content.
yeah.
So that's why you want to do... with all of your social media efforts, you want to drive everyone to your own blog. You own that platform, so that way you have the ability to either keep it going or shut it down yourself.
Oh, from your site?
From your own site.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
so
working on that.
With every tweet, you want to think about how do you get people to engage with you, but then ultimately direct them to your own blog, either for more information, for more entertainment, or to post a comment. Right. So the more we like to say, the more you entice and seduce them to your blog.
Yeah.
So it's questions, it's teasing them with some content that the only way to get the rest of it is on your blog, because Twitter only gives you 140 characters.
Sure.
So people get that, oh, all right.
So
I'm gonna
you
get more
use that to
information.
set the hook, and then they head over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then-
What is a social media strategy? I've never heard of that before.
What is a social media
Yeah, what is
strategy? And that's actually a good question, because most people haven't heard of that, because they think of a marketing strategy, they think of a business plan, but they don't think about a social media plan because they think it's just this Twitter stuff, right?
Right.
And that's why they don't get results, because they just go out there, they try it out, and there's not an active strategy. A strategy employs everything you would do in a marketing plan, except that you're using social media channels. I like to think of it as free advertising. You know, use
Yes.
You like
use
that.
Twitter, use Facebook as your free advertising tool to then drive them to your business. But you need to have a strategy for it. You know, how are you going to entice them? What type of information are you going to give? Are you going to be, what's your brand? Is it going to be more entertaining and engaging, or is it going to be more educational and serious, right? Suit and tie.
So you take that social media strategy. When we come back from the break, Coach Deb is going to talk to us about why blogging has become so popular for businesses. And we're not just talking about big business, small business too. Every business, listen, small business, biggest taxpayer in this country, the biggest employer in this country, and of course, getting involved in a social media strategy. Coach Deb, CoachDeb.tv is her website. Of course, she is our social media expert here, and we're back at 51 past the hour talking about blogging for your business. I'll have some numbers for you as well. Big Biz Show, BigBizShow.com. Back after the break.
This is the Big Biz Show, the money talk show with less bang for your buck. Here again, Russ T. Nailz and Sully.
CBS Radio Network, Armed Forces Radio Network, Business Talk Radio Network, as well as Biz TV, Ustream, TiVo. Big Biz Show's on the air. Coach Deb, CoachDeb.tv is her website. She is a social media expert. New media is all media, says Deb. She is a branding expert. She is a business coach, and of course, she's it's interesting. this social media stuff is you create a whole business. When you were in college, you had this thing didn't even exist, did it?
Thought I'd be a psychologist.
How did you get involved with this? I never asked you that. What got you involved in? Did you just, was there an aha moment and said, okay, this has reached a lot of people? You don't have to reach anybody, but 200,000 people might be a lot.
It's a psychic vision. No.
Yeah?
I moved from New York City to Hawaii and realized there weren't a lot of people that I could market to for my business coaching. So I started blogging. It just became something to get media attention because I didn't have a huge budget for advertising. So I'm like, all right, this
Free
is a
advertising?
way. Free advertising. Exactly. He catches on really quickly.
I knew that.
Mary,
So I just started doing it.
Mary Green just sent me an email, and she asked the question everybody asks is, how do you get people? It's a very simple question. How do you get people to read your blog? So when you were in Hawaii, you're a
Right.
business coach.
Yep.
And nobody knew where you were, who you were, except for your clients.
Right.
Okay, so you've got this small universe of, let's say 25 people or whatever that know
Right.
exactly who you are, and you've got this reputation that's kind of building.
Right.
But you're in the middle of Hawaii, and then you write a blog.
Yep.
And that sits out there in the ether.
The world
ether.
sees
So
it.
Mary Green just asked you a
Exactly.
question. How did you get the first person to read that thing?
The first person is your mom, right? You call her up, you're
Your
like, please
mother.
read my blog,
Yeah.
right? And then your friends. And what happens is just the traffic that you create on your blog, it sends out pings, and you have to do that. There's a little bit to let Google
it's
know.
It's not just putting something
You don't
on
just set it
Facebook.
up.
It's
No.
blogging, specifically blogging, web logging.
Right.
Does this because there's a special code embedded
Correct.
that is friendly to Google, friendly to the internet, and friendly to all searches.
You catch on as well.
So
See,
when people
they're
read
learning.
it, is that an
Something.
extra ping? Or
Well,
is it
no,
an
what
extra
happens
ping
is-
points or something?
All you do is blog, and that's the magic of blogging, and that's what's nice about it. It's really not that complicated.
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge for me was getting my clients to just trust me and say, just do it, because when you blog, Google finds you. It sends out search engines because it wants to. Think of it this way. Google is in the business of giving you the content that you want, right? So they're competing with other search engines. So they comb the net and try to find people like you that are giving them valuable content for their clients. So all you do is become interesting, you post, you talk about the things that people want to hear about. People do searches in Google and they find you.
Yeah.
Then that's why you want a social media strategy. You don't want to just put anything out there. You want to be interesting. You want to be entertaining. The biggest thing now, Sully, is using video on your blog. We predicted, I think, 2 or 3 years ago that 80% of the viewership on Google is going to be video. And sure enough, Google bought YouTube, and now they're in bed together. So if you've got a YouTube channel, actually, if you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. A lot of people don't realize that. And then it's one and the same.
They're
and
merging
you just-
without. They're merging without me
Yeah.
even saying anything. All of a
Right.
sudden, they're saying, "Hey, welcome to your new."
Exactly.
What? How did this happen? I'm
Yes.
logging on, looking. What
Yeah.
happened to my Google? All of a sudden,
And
it's
now there's
showing up.
Google Hangouts. Have you hung out on Google yet? Because if you haven't, that's a really cool thing.
What's Google Hangout?
Google Hangout is like
Russ is
Skype.
hanging out right now.
He
Yeah,
is hanging
sorry.
out. So you just go on Google and you invite a few friends, and it's a way for you to do video conferencing like Skype does, except that it
What?
broadcasts it to other people, and you can have 9 different people on the video. So you can,
Can we do that right
business
now?
conference. We can hang out.
How about 10:30
You wanna do that
tonight?
next
Can you-
time?
Can you be in front of your computer?
I think I'm busy.
She's
then.
busy.
Oh, damn it. All right,
Sorry.
all right.
But I guess and I don't want to get. I know I've gotten off topic here again with you. We need to do a whole hour with you at some point because we never get enough time with you. But with respect to this and with respect to going through the blogging, you've got this social media platform. Obviously, it's popular because people are bringing in. Can a company get away with not having a blog these days? I mean, let's face it. If you walk around without a cell phone these days and all you have is a pager and a fax machine, you're probably not getting a lot of business these days, right?
Right. It's like not being listed in yellow pages. And what's the yellow pages these days? It's your smartphone.
Right.
And if the other thing too, Sully, is if they don't have their website or blog that's mobile friendly and someone goes on via mobile and that the font is really small and you can't see it, you're not going to get the visitor, the readership that you want. So the only person in business that should not have a blog is the person that doesn't care about their competitors beating them and taking all of their clients from them.
Does this even include like the optometrist down the street or the
Absolutely.
restaurant? I mean,
Yes.
let's take it. Let's take a restaurant for example. Let's say a kitschy restaurant downtown Los Angeles or something like that, and it's a one location restaurant. It's but it's pretty popular. Is it worth to blog?
Absolutely.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Again, if they want to be found, because people are looking at, and the other key thing is to use the word best in your blogging efforts and your content, to use the best Italian restaurant
Because you know when
in
you
San
search,
Francisco.
because when people search,
Yep.
that's interesting. When people search, best
Right.
place to.
Right.
Yeah, I've done that a million times.
Because who puts the worst place to eat, right? No, you
Right.
want the best.
Cheap,
you
bad food.
So you put that as your keywords in your blogging efforts, and then you're found as top organic search. And what happens is people look at it and like, oh, this has to be the best because look, they're number one, right? They
Yeah.
trust the organic search. And organic search, Sully, is just blogs, social media sites that are found in the page of Google, not on the right-hand side. That's paid
Yeah.
advertising. You know how many clicks the paid advertising gets?
How many?
1%. You know how many?
That's abysmal click-through rates.
Yes. And people are paying for that. You know, that's like the number
while.
one ad at the top, like the sponsored ad, 1%. You know how many clicks the number one organic ranking gets, the link?
How many?
51%.
51%.
51%.
So it's almost like it's easier to keep a customer than get a new one almost.
That's true,
If
yeah.
If it's it's almost like a warm lead at that
Right,
point.
right.
Your website has to be set up to blog.
Correct.
No,
You can't just start.
But there's plenty of free blogging sites that you can embed your own website with that, right? Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think what we should talk about, and we don't have time today,
God.
is probably just the mechanics of that.
Sure.
Start blogging.
You want me to teach you all my tricks, don't you?
Yeah, well, I do.
Yeah,
Well,
I see what's happening.
have
You're
your-
just,
has
like,
your- is
pulling
your-
all the
is
secrets
your-
out of me.
using you.
I see that.
Is your book still in print? Can people still get a copy of that?
They
book?
can if they go to Amazon, Secrets of Online Persuasion. And we wrote the book to be relevant in the long run. It wasn't just about fads and everything in there. It's focused on persuading people to read, seducing
Oh,
your
Rusty,
audience.
let me persuade you.
Here's my mom's on Google.
That's just scary.
Did you put my mom and she
Coach-
came up on Google?
No, he wrote the best mom.
The best mom. Aw, she came up.
CoachDeb.tv. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. We'll see you next week.